Coach Dan here from Rise Above, and I'm here to teach you how to build your own workout without buying any sort of program or getting a personal trainer or anything like that. And I'm here to keep it simple and say the reason why you don't need to make a workout overly complicated. The more complicated a workout doesn't mean better results. Generally speaking, the simpler you keep the workout, the better results you're gonna get in the long run. So you can see I've got a whole bunch of stuff written out here. I'm gonna say, I wanna start over here with the phases. So basically, you wanna take your workouts through phase programming. Each phase should last anywhere between 3 to 6 weeks. It's really hard to say when to switch it up, but if you're switching it up every month, you're in a really good spot. And that's the biggest recommendation is that, honestly, when you start to feel like your phase is starting to get easier, that's when it's time to switch it up. But there's 3 general phases. The first phase, and you can do these in any order you want as well, as long as you hit every phase. You want to get the benefits from every single one of these. But the first one I always like to start with it is a high set, low rep, where you're lifting heavy. This means a minimum of 5 sets, and you're doing 1 to 5 reps. And the goal is to lift as heavy as you can. Once you feel like that you can no longer lift heavy, and I say, or it's starting to get easy, that's a good indicator that it's time to switch to a new phase, which the second phase I have written up here is a medium amount of sets with a medium amount of reps. And I say this is usually 3 to 4 sets for like 8 to 12 reps. And I say that's usually where I'll put my clients in a medium rep phase. And then the last one is low sets, high reps. I do a minimum of 3. I know that's borderline right on those medium, set ranges, but your reps should be high. We're talking 15 plus reps. And your weight should be just a little bit lighter as a whole. And I say it almost is gonna feel like endurance with your heart rate getting up and things like that. So once you pick your phase, I say just go in order. I say if you wanna start with high sets, then you go to your medium, and then you go to your low, or you could go in the reverse direction. But you have to make sure that you're switching those things up. If you don't switch it, you're losing out on a lot of benefits as a whole. This is gonna bring me to our exercises. And say, I only have 5 exercises, 6 exercises if you include the pull-ups, but you only should be doing about 5 exercises, 1 for each muscle group. I say a squat and its variations, meaning you've got your squat, you've got a lunge, a Bulgarian split squat. The possibilities are endless in terms of the squat and squat variation. Same thing with all of these. I say you've got deadlifts, chest presses, shoulder presses, and then rows / pull-ups or pull downs, and all of the variations. If you do some sort of variation of these, you're gonna get really good results long term. A couple things you're not gonna see here that you can add on, like your abs, your arms, calves. You're not necessarily gonna see that in here. With your biceps, triceps, you're gonna get a lot of that with your chest and shoulders and your rows for your back. And that's the big thing here is we're hitting all of our major muscle groups. Squat, quads, glutes. Deadlift, hamstrings, glutes. Chest press, we're hitting the chest, obviously. Shoulders, shoulder. And it's a row pull-up, back. Those are your big major muscle groups. And you're gonna be working your abs as you're doing all these things. It's impossible to not engage your abs while doing these exercises. But again, if you wanna add abs in there, there's nothing wrong with that. So this is gonna bring us to the workout and how I like to structure my workouts. And say you can see I've got 1 through 5. I didn't actually fill them in. The reason being is the muscle you want to basically get the best results with should be your first exercise. I've read some studies out there that the first basically muscle that you work gets the most benefits in terms of muscle building or muscle definition, toning, whatever you want to call it. And then the one that you work last gets the least amount of benefits. When I say that, I say it makes sense. It's the first muscle you work, you have the most energy, you can lift the heaviest for it, and then as you just go, your weight's just gonna get lighter as a whole. And honestly, you only need to do this 3 to 4 times a week, and you'll get really good results. And if you're not sure what to just do as a whole, honestly, I recommend checking out our YouTube channel. And I've got it broken up into, quads, glutes, hamstrings, So just go in there, pick a playlist with, any of these exercises working those muscle groups, and plug and play and figure out what works best for you. Say, like I said, I wanted to make this pretty simplistic. And say, why? Because working out shouldn't be hard. It's not hard to go to the gym and lift weights, but it's hard to come up with a plan. And basically, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you to actually do it. As long as you follow, switching up your phases every about 4 weeks or once a month, and say, picking the right exercises, meaning that you're not going to do a quad extension and say there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a volume builder as opposed to a big mover. These are your big mover exercises, and then just structuring it in the order that you want the best results with. And then if you want to work things like your abs, your arms, your calves, you put them down here. And I say, because you're already working, like I said, your arms as a whole with a lot of these exercises. Say with that, that's how you build your own workout. I'm Dan from Rise Above. Have a good rest of your day.